Hey, what's up, good people, and welcome back to the garage. As I was putting together the final video for the GS550 build series, I ran across a lot of footage that I had captured with the process of creating the carbon fiber seat pan and also for the seat base and the foam. So I figured I might as well throw together a video, show you what that process was like. As you're watching, you'll notice that all of the epoxy is really shiny. In the final product, it is not shiny at all. I decided to go with a matte scheme, and so you can see this is what the final product looks like. Even the paint, all of the powder coating, everything is done in a flat theme, and so you'll see that that's not quite what you see in the in progress video, so keep that in mind. Anyhow, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, go ahead and smash that like button, and we'll just jump right into it. All right, here we are again in the garage another day. You can see I've trimmed this thing down a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, to make sure that it fits close to the way I want it. I want to have a little bit of frame peeking out from the sides and also in the back. Right now I left it a little bit long, so you can barely see a little bit of frame, but you can't really see a lot of the frame there. And I left it long on purpose so that when I cast the part in carbon fiber, then I can trim it. I can do a little bit more fine tuning with the trim as opposed to relying on the mold to be the perfect size. I'm pretty satisfied with the overall shape and everything. What I'm gonna do now is start to lay some Bondo on here to get rid of all these bumps and ridges. Right now it looks like the surface of the moon. You don't want your final part to look like that. Once we get that part done, we'll sand it down smooth. It'll probably take, I don't know, 2 or 3 rounds of that to get it exactly perfectly smooth and get all the shapes the way that I want them. But we'll get that process started now, and so the next thing after that will be to start waxing it up and actually fiberglass again to make a mold with some gel coat. So let's jump into it again. All right, so that's the end of round one. You can see now it looks a lot better. Before it looked like Freddy Krueger, now it looks like Freddy Krueger with skin grafts. So I've covered up most of the lumpy high spots. You can just see where some of those are starting to peek through here, where there's kind of these clear spots are where it shows the fiberglass resin through it. Those are kind of the high spots, and I've sanded those fairly smooth and even with the Bondo. It's a long way from done though, so you can see here I've got tons of pitting where there's voids in the Bondo. So the second pass is gonna be to fill in some of these voids. These are two big voids where I cut out the mounting points in there, and then just kind of some of the deeper grooves and scratches and things in there. So we're gonna fill that in, and then start to put in a little bit more bulk on the hump here to get the profile the way that I want it. You probably can't see it, but this hump isn't 100% perfectly smooth either, so I'll build that out with Bondo. And then lastly, over here on the side, it scallops in a lot more than I want it to, especially when you compare it to the other side. So again, I'll build out some here in that divot just to bring it out a little bit more. The center here, I don't have to worry too much. The perfectionist in me is gonna make me obsess over it a little bit, but this will all be covered up by the actual seat. So I don't have to worry about this too much. But what we do wanna have nice and smooth is this back part here, the transition that kind of curves down the side of the rail on the bike. We wanna have all of that smooth, both sides, because that's gonna be visible. And then also this front part that interfaces with the tank, close up to the tank. So anything that's essentially gonna be visible after the seat pad goes on, we wanna have that stuff fairly smoothed out. So that's where we're gonna concentrate most of our attention. But like I said, I'm gonna try to get all this relatively smooth so it just doesn't look like 100% trash. And in the meantime, we're gonna jump back into it for round two. it. That simple. Well, thank you for sticking around. I know this one was a little bit longer, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of a sense of what it takes to create kind of a pattern or a plug, and then create the mold, and then cast the final part in carbon fiber. If you want to get started with something like this on your own, I threw down in the description a bunch of links to some of the parts that I use, or some of the materials that I use and that you'll need for creating the molds and like the release agent, all that kind of good stuff. So check it out. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Make sure you're sharing the video as well. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Peace.